Subscribe to the channel, man. Superstar point guard Kyrie Irving of the Boston Celtics. He needs to take the Isaiah Thomas approach, and I mean Isaiah Thomas that played for Detroit, not Isaiah Thomas that's playing now. That's playing the former Isaiah Thomas that played for Boston. I'm talking about the Isaiah Thomas that played for the Detroit Pistons back in the '80s and the '90s. And Isaiah Thomas made a great quote. He said when he was scoring a lot of points with Detroit Pistons, they weren't winning a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? He said he was, and he was. Isaiah Thomas was a volume shooter, when he first came in for his first, 2-3 years with the Detroit Pistons, and shooting the ball a lot, scoring a lot. But he said when he dialed down his shots, and he only averaged about 18 points a game and like 10 assists, the Detroit Pistons started winning because he understood then that he had help around him, and he had to get guys like Joe Dumars, Adrian Dantley when they had Adrian Dantley, they had Bill Laimbeer and all these guys, Vinny Microwave Johnson, when they had all these guys on the team, that he had to get all these guys involved so the team can be more successful. And that's what Isaiah Thomas needed. I mean, that's what Kyrie Irving needs to do with this Boston Celtics team. They are a very young team. I believe I believe Kyrie Irving himself is like 27 years old, so he's young. And Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they got who else? Oh, Gordon Hayward. They got all these guys that are about the same players. They all are the same players. They're all slashers. You know, now out of all three of them, I believe Jason Tatum maybe have a slightly better jump shot than the rest of them, but their strengths are slashers, and that's a problem with their starting five. I don't believe Gordon Hayward, either Gordon Hayward or Jaylen Brown should not be in the starting lineup. But I believe the Boston Celtics, as an organization, are trying to appease all those players, so they're trying to put them all in the starting lineup. Because I said in an earlier video, in a video I made a couple weeks ago, that the Boston Celtics are going to have a problem with Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving coming back, simply because these guys, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, they all had success in the playoffs without those two players because of those two players was injured. And Gordon Hayward's, in his approach, he was injured in the first game of the season. So Jason Tatum had a taste of what it is to be a starter. So his career was accelerated. If Gordon Hayward don't get hurt, Jason Tatum is coming off the bench, and Jason Tatum has no problem coming off the bench. If Kyrie Irving doesn't get hurt, Terry Rozier continue coming off the bench, and he has no problem coming off the bench. But since those guys got injured, everybody got accelerated and pushed up the totem pole. But now coming into this year, you got Jaylen Brown, young player. Jason Tatum, very young player. They're trying to establish themselves as being, showing what they can do, what they worked on in the offseason. You have Jason Tatum that went and worked out with Kobe Bryant. You know the mind, the mentality that Kobe Bryant has is to get the ball, volume shooter, look after you. Because that's what a young Kobe Bryant did. He wanted to look after him. It just so happened that the LA Lakers had Shaq and they had Phil Jackson to help rein Kobe Bryant in, a young Kobe Bryant in. Now, what Brad Stevenson has to do, and Kyrie, they have to rein those young players in, and to let them young players understand that we have to move the ball, we have to share the ball, we have to become a team and not individuals trying to excel at your individual game. And that's what the Boston Celtics are doing. They're 10-10. The Boston Celtics are 10-10. The Boston Celtics are 10-10, 500, with all that talent on their team and all that talent on their bench. To me, they have the best bench in basketball. They have one of the best starting fives in basketball if they play together, but they're not playing together. And Kyrie Irving already in the media saying that they need veteran leadership. You know why he asking that? Because the young players are playing for themselves, and you cannot do that. If you have aspirations of being a championship team or even challenging Golden State for the title, you cannot play as individuals. Because I know a lot of people saying, well, they have a great chance of beating Golden State. No, they don't. No, they don't. because when you look at the Golden State Warriors are tried and proven. Everybody in their starting five are, and when they get Boogie Cousins back, everybody in they, I mean, I know they said Boogie Cousins was going to come off the bench, but everybody in their starting five have went to the All-Star game. Two of them won the league MVP. One of them won the finals MVP. So no, they're not ready to beat Golden State, but they to me they will challenge Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Have a hard 6-game series because of the athleticism that they have in being able to switch everything. With Golden State, they can match Golden State athleticism, and they can match Golden State speed, quickness, and all that stuff. They can match all that stuff, but to me, they're not ready to beat them. But they have zero chance of even getting out the East if Jason Tatum and Brown don't understand that they have to play as a team. Because now with the acquisition of Jimmy Butler, the 76ers are better now. The 76ers are much better now. Because now you cannot sag off of Ben Simmons because he don't have a jump shot. They can just get a ball to Jimmy Butler at the end of the game, and he can make plays. You know what I'm saying? And he can be able to go to the free throw line and make his free throws, unlike Ben Simmons' struggle at the free throw line. But now you cannot do that to Ben Simmons. Now Ben Simmons can just naturally just be a point guard. A big, tall, 7-foot point guard who I think still should be getting in the post and posting up a lot of these smaller guards. That's another video for another day. I already had that video already. And then you got Joel Embiid, who's the best, to me, the best big man, maybe in basketball, definitely in the East. He's definitely the best big man in the East. Then you got Milwaukee Bucks playing great basketball with Giannis leading the way with Middleton, Bledsoe, and all those guys they got over there. Malcolm Brogdon, who was the Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. So, and then you got Toronto, who has Kawhi Leonard, and it just seemed like he's a natural fit there. You got Kyle Lowry playing out of his mind. That man averaging 11. See, that's what that's what Kyrie Irving needs to be doing. He needs to play like my guy, I just said his name, like Kyle Lowry up in Toronto, where Kyle Lowry has dialed down his shooting. His points has come down a little bit, a couple points a game, 2-3 points a game, and his assists are way up. This man averaging almost 12 assists a game. That's what Kyrie Irving has to do. He has to get out of that one-on-one Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant mentality, drop that, and become more of a point guard. Because Kyrie Irving can do it. He can play point guard. He can do that. Now in spots, would they still need him to go off and be like a Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson type? Yes, in spots, but not for the game, not for the duration of the game. He can't sit there and dribble between his legs 50 times just to get one shot off, and you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown standing around not doing anything. You have to move the ball. Boston is confused. Yeah. What's up with Dwight? Dwight Howard? What you mean, Dwight Howard with the whole, I don't know, what the news of him getting caught up in. I don't like talking about people off the field, off the court situations. I know they say he got caught up with some trainee or something. That's his business. That's not my business. But like I said, the Boston Celtics and Kyrie Irving has to be a leader on that team. Kyrie Irving, you are the veteran on that team, even though you're young yourself, but you've been through the wars of the NBA. You've been to the NBA Finals a couple times, so you understand what it takes to win. You have to sit those young players down and get in their minds that we have to do this together. If this is what y'all want to do, if y'all want to become great, and all the endorsements and all that stuff going to come with you winning. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to just come with us just not winning. You have to be able to win so you can get all the accolades. So that's my take on the Boston Celtics. Like I said, I know a lot of people said that they was going to go and challenge Golden State, but I had to put a pause on that because you have to integrate Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. But I think Boston need to make a trade. I think Boston need to go get Anthony Davis. They should go ahead and trade Gordon Hayward, put Jaylen Brown in there, and throw some other pieces in there, and throw some of the number one draft picks, because Boston Celtics got about 3 or 4 number one draft picks this year, first round draft picks. Throw some of those in there and go get Anthony Davis, because to me, it's just too many guys that play the same position on Boston. Too many slashers. They are vying for the same spots on the floor. You have to get rid of a couple of those guys. If you get rid of process of elimination, if you get rid of Gordon Hayward and Jaylen Brown, now Jason Tatum can take up that slasher role. You can bring Anthony Davis in. You can slide Al Horford back to power forward, and you can put Anthony Davis at center. So then you have Anthony Davis at center, Al Horford at power forward, Jason Tatum at small forward, Kyrie Irving, point guard, and then you can bring in somebody else for shooting guard. So now you have a team that can flow better. But right now they're not flowing. And I don't think they're going to, now they may get it together. But I just see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum trying to do their own thing. And too much one-on-one. But let me know what y'all think, man. What's up, Zone? Hey, later, man, we can get together and get some boxing talk going on, man. There's a lot of things happening. And we got this Tyson Fury